Okay, so now we are talking journal administrative theory in context of Max Weber. Max Weber developed a theory of authority structures and relations based on an ideal type of organization which he called bureaucracy, a form of organization characterized by division of labor, rationality, a clearly defined hierarchy, details, rule and regulation, and in-person relationship. Actually, we can say that he also emphasized on standardization, division of labor, authority hierarchy, formal selection, formal rules and regulation, impersonality, and career orientation. Weber recognized that this ideal bureaucracy did not exist in reality. Instead, he intended it as a basis for theorizing about how work could be done in large groups. His theory became the structural design for many of the today's large organizations. The bureaucracy, the concept that has been given by Max Weber, is a lot like scientific management, which was proposed by Frederick Taylor. Both emphasize rationality and predictability, rules and regulation, standardization. The fact is that the larger organization requires the rules and regulation. Obviously, sometimes it happens that the larger organizations need standardization and mechanistic structure. So Max Weber actually emphasizes on the rationality, predictability, and technical competence and impersonality for the larger organization in order to boost up the productivity. Now let's talk about quantitative approach to management, as it's evident with the name quantitative, which means analysis, statistics is involved. It's also called operation, research, or management science. Evolved from mathematical and statistic methods to solve World War II, that's written World War II, military, logistics, and quality control problems. It focuses on improving managerial decision making by applying statistics, optimization models, information models, and computer simulation. You must have heard about linear programming. For instance, is a technique, linear programming I'm talking about, it's a technique that managers use to improve resource allocation decisions. Work scheduling can be done more efficient as a result of critical path and schedule analysis. So quantitative approach, it's like mathematics we are making analysis, we are actually quantifying the things and procedures, that how we can anticipate things, how we should be doing efficient work. We make analysis and things result fine, things result optimistic when we are when we have analysis of things. So obviously we perform well. So that's why it's a very useful technique that manager use while making several decisions. So now let's talk about the Hawthorne studies. It was a series of productivity experiments conducted at Western Electric from 1927 to 1932. Now, what was the experiment? Actually, the experiment was to examine the effect of various lighting levels on worker productivity, means the effect of light on the productivity of the worker. Like any good scientific experiment, control various lighting intensities and the control group working under a constant intensity. So what was the experiment finding? When the light was increased on the group of workers, so they have found that productivity was increasing. So they related with the concept that obviously when there is much light, so obviously the workers can perform well, so that's why productivity is increasing. So on the other hand, what they did, they decreased the effect of light, but the result were highly shocking. When the effect of light was decreased on a group of workers, still the productivity was increased, which was a shocking and highly astounding response, that how is it possible that the effect of decreasing light is still increasing the productivity of workers. So the engineers and the team which was involved in this conducting research, they were highly surprised by seeing these results, which wasn't making any sense to them. So after making other researches and after looking at all the aspect of the research, what was the conclusion that came forward? Social norms, group standards, and attitudes more strongly influence individual output and work behavior than do monetary incentives. Obviously, the group values, the norms that the group has, the strong association of workers with their team and the colleague altogether creates a strong impact on the group. So this was the result, this was the conclusion, that the norms of the group and the whole team has a strong influence on each other.